Yo. Hello. Okay, so for the last like two and a half years, I've been getting into listening to Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra, and they've been talking so much about stuff that just really makes sense. And I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that I wrote down as like notes. So, one of the things they were talking about was our ego creating a false sense of something being as fulfilling as everything. And because the universe is infinite and the universe is within you, you are infinite. So your ego is restricting you, basically, is how I interpret that, which is so interesting if you just think about that. Everything you've ever wanted to project of yourself was to impress somebody. That's your ego. If you really looked inside to what would truly make you happy, how different would the decisions that you make every day be? Because it goes down to every decision you make. And I think it's something that we're so ingrained from birth that you just put on this false identity for people. It's crazy. So I mean, when you're thinking about your perspective and your mind can only know your point of view of everything, because yeah, you can empathize for others, but you haven't lived their life. You haven't stepped into their shoes or been a part of their truth. So, we share moments of truth with each other, but we are the only people who get to experience our own mind's perspective of reality. And it's kind of cool because if you think about it, no other person is experiencing life the way you are. And I think that's why it's so important to keep a journal or make notes of your thoughts throughout the years, because you go back and it's your experience and you relive it, and it's really cool. And it's such a trippy thought to think that infinity, all time ever will be, if time is even real outside of our three-dimensional world we live in. I mean, shit can get so deep. We don't have time. But if you think about it, like, time is infinite. Time stretches far earlier and far further than your life will ever go. Your life is a, a life is a being's honest experience with consciousness in a moment, a flash in the pan moment. This is your experience with consciousness. This is your coming into the collective consciousness of what is human life. And it's cool. An enlightened person would allow anything to happen. So basically, anything that could or will happen, they allow. So therefore, if you are able to let the ego go or suppress it enough, you're letting consciousness back in. So the more you can check your ego when it's happening. Another thing that really caught my attention was them saying hallucinations become reality once accepted by many, which, God, if you look back in our history, just as a human civilization, that is true. It is a hallucination. To some people, our reality would seem like a hallucination. It's insane. And I remember watching this video. I think it was like a Minute Science YouTube video or something, and they were talking about how if you brought somebody from the Dark Ages up to another time period, their mind would be blown. But now it's getting shorter and shorter because technology is getting more advanced. So if we take somebody from literally 100 years ago, and we bring them, let's say they died 1915, and we bring them to 2015, it wouldn't compute. They'd be like, what? Like, they wouldn't understand technology. They wouldn't understand internet. They wouldn't understand, I mean, our automobile, our way of life, the food we eat. It would blow their mind. It would be cool. So how long do you think it would take as we go forward? Like, what if every 50 years starts to become so drastically different? And then what if it's every 25, and then every 10, and then every 5, and every 5 years we're living a crazy different lifestyle than we did the 5 years previous? Like, what if some catastrophic shit starts going on with the earth? Or, like, what if governments go tits up and a revolution starts worldwide? What if, I mean, this stuff is reality. This stuff could be a reality. It's crazy. Um, but it's kind of the exciting part about living right now and appreciating being here right now. And it's a really cool time to be a part of everything. And just within oneself is the whole infinite consciousness of the kinetic state, which appears as the entire universe. I mean, that's mind blowing. Thank you, Deepox. All right, anyway, just some thoughts and some really, really deep ones at that. Please start a conversation. What do you think of thoughts like that? Like, do they make you think deeper? Do you think it's just babble? Is it a harder way to live life because you're not as materialistic and that's just more fun? I mean, these are honestly conversations that are happening within all of us every day, but we need to have them out loud. We need to talk about them and help each other grow and learn. So continue to do that. All right, see you tomorrow.